Just click OK. And now you can mute yourself and let.
Okay, it's okay to start? Am I being heard? Oh, okay. Well, tonight we're going to talk about seed libraries, why they are important, what they are, and how they work. This is a Zuni Pueblo chant. Watch well o'er your seed, things and children. Speak wisely to these our new children. Henceforth, they shall be your first speakers and the peacemaking shields of your people. The seed holds life in its dry shell. Each seed contains enough nutrients, waters, and enzymes to last through dormancy to their first few days as a seedling while they are developing their root system. Humans and seeds evolve together. Seeds remind us of traditional values, sharing, nurturing, and celebration. Gardeners and farmers worldwide have been selecting and saving seeds since the beginning of agriculture. Plant selection by gardeners and farmers continue to be vital for conserving genetic resources, for producing crop varieties best suited for local needs. This is Dr. Ishmael Selgelden. He is a former vice president of the World Bank, an agricultural scientist, and Director General of Alexandria, Egypt's new library. His list of accomplishments are many. He has 40 honorary PhDs. However, his major concern is plants. He says, we need to protect plants for future generations. Conserving genetic resources is a challenge for all humanity. Without genetic resources from plants, we lose one of our greatest tools to alleviate poverty, fight disease, and protect the environment. Dr. Vandana Shiva spoke at Northern New Mexico College a few years ago. Her PhD is in metaphysical physics. She is the director of the Research Foundation for Science, Technology, and Natural Resources. She has fought for changes in the practice and paradigms of agriculture and food, and is a leader in the regenerative agricultural movement. She says, and this will be important for a little later on, when you control seed, you control life on earth. There are many reasons for a seed library. So we're going to go through some of these reasons. Number one, we are in danger of losing much of our agricultural diversity. Over 10,000 plant species have been used for human food and medicine. As late as the 1900s, food was provided by as many as 1,500 species. Today, there are no more than 150 cultivated species that are providing 90% of the world's food. This is dangerous. If the farmers of Ireland would have had access to more varieties of potatoes, and there are over 300 varieties, And if they had been able to plant some of their traditional crops, the people of Ireland would not have suffered so much. Number 2, there are many threats to our crops. This is a picture of chemically treated corn. They are treated with pesticides and fungicides. There is another threat to our crops, and that is being contaminated by pollen from GMO crops. Number 3, preserve flavor and nutrition. I think, as you know, when you're growing your own food, they taste a lot different from what you find in the grocery store. Leaving the veggies and fruit on the plant or vine as long as possible allows them to ripen and gives the time needed to gain their full flavor and nutrition. Food sovereignty, food security. Henry Kissinger said, control politics and you control governments. Control the food supply and you control people. Whoever owns the seeds controls the food supply. Number 5, save money. You borrow the seeds from the library for free. You plant and harvest. There's no buying your veggies at inflated prices. There's no transportation cost. This I love, no plastic packaging, and hopefully no waste. Seeds that are adapted to local soil and climate are a source of survival. These seeds are landrace chili seeds from northern New Mexico. They were given to me by a farmer in Suzuki. Number 7, attract beneficial insects. Preserve culture and heritage. Number 8, this is my first teacher, John Kimmy. I learned from him about growing in the desert, about dry land farming, dry land crops, and seeds. I learned that the Hopi play their drum and sing the corn up. Native people and Hispanic people of northern New Mexico have ceremonies, prayers, songs, dances in honor of planting and have blessings for the rain. It has been scientifically proven that vibrations start the seed shell to open, helping to birth the little plant. Preserve community. People and seeds are a very ancient relationship. Being with like-minded people, people who find joy with plants, nourishes our soul. A sense of community exists, even on the internet. The New Mexico gardeners, northern New Mexico gardeners, is an example of this. Everybody shares with the members, and some of the pictures on that they have put up are awesome. By growing a plant from seed, we become one with the cycles of life, grow more attuned to the world around us, and gain a deeper understanding of our place in the web of life. There's a movement across the planet to save the seeds. People are sharing with each other and going to seed swaps, and local communities are starting seed libraries. One of the biggest questions and one of the things that really needs to be understood is that there are seed swaps, seed banks, and seed libraries. At a seed swap, there is no commitment to grow the seeds. In fact, the seeds may or may not even be grown. They may or may not even be viable, depending on how they were collected or stored. Seed banks. The intent of a seed bank is to store seeds against possible destruction and to maintain biodiversity, which is endangered. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault is on the Norwegian island of Spitsbergen. They have seed duplicates from all the gene banks and participating countries to ensure the world's food supplies. They supply seeds when seeds are lost due to natural disasters, human conflicts, changing policies, and changes in the growing season. The changing weather patterns cause changes in the growing seasons in the environment and are impacting our ability to survive. This is important. The temperature in the vault is kept at a constant -18 degrees centigrade, and they keep the humidity at a certain level. However, the temperatures across the planet are rising, and they've been melting at the facility, and they have had to make diversion trenches and do other improvements to keep the seeds safe. In the lower corner is the Tzuki Farm and Seed Bank, located on the Tzuki Pueblo. They have an underground facility built in the fashion of the Taos tire tradition, earth-based. The temperature underground is a constant and the humidity is a constant. These are just two examples of seed banks. There are seed banks across the planet. One of these is called the Consultative Group on Agricultural Research, or CIGAR. And it was founded by Dr. Ismail Serageldin. His seed banks launched a program to provide seeds to Rwanda. After the civil war and ethnic genocide, the country was devastated and faced mass famine. The starving people ate the seed supply. They were supplied with 30 tons of seed from various plant species adapted to the diverse Rwandan environment. This quote from William Scourcroft, the Deputy Director General of the International Center for Tropical Agriculture in Colombia, talks about local seeds and how important it is to food security. He says, it is not good enough to provide farmers with just any seed. Rwandan farmers need the kind of seeds they had before that are suited to their soil, their climate, and they resist local pests and diseases. They want food that tastes like the foods they are used to eating. Native Seed Search, located in Tucson, Arizona, was founded by a group of friends who wanted to see plant diversity and the plants that Native people have grown and are desert adapted. One of their successful programs has been the diabetic educational program. They have grown to have a seed bank, grow out farm, retail store, catalog, and seed library. Plus, they continue their education and outreach programs. I first learned, well, not first, this was my second learning of seeds in the Southwest. I was a volunteer there who went and cleaned seeds. Native Seed Search offers the seeds free to Native people, and they give seed grants to start seed libraries. Our library in Dixon received a grant from Native Seed Search in the form of seeds. A seed library is a depository of seeds held in trust for members of the library. Members borrow the seeds. All seeds are free. Members commit to grow the plants and to let a few go to seed. They collect the seeds and return some to the library for others to borrow and grow next year. This process allows the seeds to evolve, adapt, become more resilient to changing conditions. The location of a seed library is important. Ideally, it's in a central place, easy access, and plenty of parking. The other important thing about the seed library is the importance of signage. This sign hangs on the wall above the door going into the main library. The mission of the library is to maintain purity of seeds, maintain biodiversity, educate and train, and develop a network of seed savers. We at the Embudo Valley Seed Library do our best to ensure the quality of our seed using best practices in inventory care and labeling. However, seeds are alive, and people using the library have varying degrees of skill in saving seeds. We are a volunteer-run project. We do not knowingly accept genetic modified seeds, seeds that are coated with poison, seeds from hybrid plants, or patented seeds. We do not accept seeds older than 4 years old. We do accept organic, open pollinated, landrace, and heirloom seeds that are clean, labeled, and packaged correctly. This lovely lady is an amaranth grown from Dixon, and actually some of her seeds are in the Dixon Library. So we accept commercial seeds from those companies who have signed the Safe Seed Pledge, or from local companies we know are organic. In 1999, some commercial seed companies came together to discuss the state of seeds across the planet. They were concerned about GMO seeds, seed patents, and intellectual property rights. High Mowing Organics and Johnny's Select Seeds were among the first to sign. For the benefit of all gardeners and farmers and consumers who want an alternative, we pledge that we do not knowingly buy, sell, or trade with genetically engineered seeds or plants. The pledge recognizes the biological risk, economic, political, and cultural threats of GMO seeds and seed patents. To date, when I put together this presentation, the pledge has been signed by over 370 seed companies worldwide. And this lovely lady is Nettles, and she has a lot of seeds that she's giving forth. So the people who borrow the seeds also are making a commitment. And this commitment is what is important and what makes the seed library different from a seed swap and a seed bank. By taking these seeds, I commit to save and share. I will return seeds to replace those I borrowed. If, because of drought, illness, grasshoppers, or any other valid reason, and I just couldn't get it together, is not a valid reason. If I am able to fulfill my commitment, I pledge an amount for each pack I borrow. I do this to help the library continue to lend out seeds to the community. We have a sign out and sign in page in our books that we keep at the library. We ask for name, contact information, the date checked out, the name of the seed, how many packets you took, and the date replaced. This is our sign out sheet. These are the seed packs, envelopes that we pack our seeds in. They came from Native Seed Search. And for, you can write in your crop, your variety, where you got the seed, the date planted, date collected. And what's important too is the notes that you might have. Like on one of our packages, it was that we did have some seeds returned. There was that, oh, these were great beans. They were produced, they need a long pole and so forth, information that can help you grow. And I apologize, this is our seed record that goes with each variety of seed. This is Aurochs triplex hortensis. And botanical name, family name, it is an annual. And the seed source came from Hispaniola. If you're donating native seeds, we ask that you give the location, something about the soil, and the altitude. This also gives people information about sowing the seeds, transplanting, soil preparation, soil temperature. This plant requires full sun, day length sensitive. So and it gives you the days to germination. This takes 14 days if the temperature is 50 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. On this paper, you'll have information for planting depth, spacing, row spacing, insect pest, and companion plants. And for the library, for us to know the date planted, the number of seeds you planted, the date they sprouted, if you transplanted any, the first flower, the first fruit, and the date of harvest. And any other little information like harvesting the seeds. The seeds are in bracts and can easily be stripped, but if you see any seeds that are not in the bracts, those are not fertile seeds. So this just we want everybody to be successful. Not everybody is a master gardener. Not everybody has seed saving skills yet. So this information is to help people be successful. That's me, a seed librarian, maintains the seed library system. What needs to be done? Checking the drawers, managing, checking the donated seeds, management of returns, record keeping. In a seed library, you do viability checks at intervals. There are special projects and outreach. At our library, we had a lot of workshops. This one was on seed basics, choosing seeds to save, harvesting, and cleaning. We used the media. We showed videos. This one happened to be one on featuring Dr. Vandana Shiva. We had guest speakers. The gentleman who started the seed bank in Suzuki was one of our speakers. This is the new librarian, seed librarian. Rosalia and I are co-sharing this because I no longer live in that area. She has seed packets in her hand and she is getting ready to add these seeds to the inventory. One of the really important jobs of the seed librarian is to make sure that the seeds are clean. They must be cleaned properly to prevent mildew, insects hatching, and disease. A real disaster happened at the Ghost Ranch in Abiquiu. They have a library on their grounds, and they also started a seed library. Well, when I talked with someone a year after I'd seen the library, it was very sad to learn that they had to put all the seeds in a compost pile because the insects were hatching in the jars and some of them were a gloopy mess from the mildew. So seeds need to be cleaned and in good health before they can be packaged. And one of the important things at the seed library, like any library, is your volunteer. Jennifer has helped us from the beginning. She has a passion for seeds. She loves to come in and clean and help package. A seed library is both a collection of seeds and a community of gardeners and farmers. In the early 2014, three friends, Bill McDorman, Belle Starr, both were co-directors of Native Seed Search, and John Cacia, manager of the Wood River Seed Library, got together and their ideas developed into the Rocky Mountain Seed Alliance. Their vision was to create a network within the Rocky Mountain West that connected seeds and community. They are dedicated to strengthening seed and food security in our region. They have seed conferences, seed and grain schools, different grow out programs, and including the seed stewardship program. I did take their seed class and am in contact with the Seed Alliance for their other programs, and I hope to go to their grain school. The main purpose of a seed library is the preservation of the relationship between the crops, the plants, and the community. Being grown out in a changing New Mexico climate, the crop can adapt and develop to the changes. It is important to ensure the survival and growth of our ecological plant heritage. A seed library reinforces and encourages, through the power of community, the preservation and growth of natural biodiversity. So I'm going to ask you all, what is the best way to save a seed? The best way to save a seed is to grow it. Senor Esteban Arellano of Embudo Valley was my mentor for my class in Northern New Mexico agriculture techniques. He has passed, but his legacy lives on. Farmer mayordomo of the Embudo Valley Acequia Association, author, scholar, and a marvelous teacher. Thank you for getting us down to the very basics of seed saving. The best way to save a seed is to grow it. This has been a program by OSO Productions. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Well, I have one. So when people check out the seeds from their library, and then they promise to return after the seeds they have grown and collect, how can they prevent cross-pollinations by other plants so that the seeds they bring back are same or close to what they took out? Otherwise, it will be a different.
Well, they seeds will have some differences because these seeds are adapting, say, to the Embudo Valley area. You would protect them by distancing, for one thing, but basically they're not going to be, how to put it?
Identical, yeah.
Identical, right.
Yeah.
It won't be identical. And that really is kind of the purpose of the seed library, is to get them to grow out and adapt to the area. Like when I chose seeds from Native Seed Search for our grant, I chose some seeds that was from this area that they have. And they have quite a few. I got some plants from Tezuki, Truchas, and various places, seeds that had been adapted to that area, and then came to our, managed to make it to our seed library.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, may we come on a field trip and visit with you and see your seed library if it comes to sort of the point of execution?
Yes, that would be delightful. I'd like to have you wait to the summer or spring, because we have a gardener extraordinaire. So the walkway up to the library door is filled with flowers and beautiful plants. And we this year just are getting a seed collection of all those plants. So if you wanted to come and, you know, have some of the plants that we've got on our walkway, they'll be available at the library. So yeah, we can actually plan a field trip.
It just feels like it would be easier to understand, to kind of see it in action. I'd love to see your location and sort of your whole setup, and peruse your pamphlets and instructional materials and all of that stuff.
That would be great, because like I said, we have our resource book goes into some detail on some of the plants, like, you know, the sisters plants and various other plants. So we have a little bit more information on that. And the case itself sits right near the librarian desk. So when you come in, signage is very important. And what else is important is that everybody knows how the library works. So we are in the process. I'll be doing some filming to put a short clip up on our website on how you check out seeds. And then we'll have a follow-up on how you return the seeds, as both things are a little bit different. And I'm sorry, what is your name?
I'm sorry. So I'm the librarian at our local library system, and I would be the point person if we decide to go forward with this. And that's why I'm asking very library specific questions.
I'm sorry, but I didn't get your name.
Oh, I'm Eva Jacobson. I'm sorry. I thought I had my name on there. I'll make sure to add it.
Oh, there it is. It's way down there. And the very bottom left hand is gone now. And you're at the Mesa Library?
I am, yes.
Our library director now works at your library.
She doesn't anymore. She was with us for a very short period of time.
Oh.
She's no longer. She moved on to a different position.
Whoops, I lost you.
Felicity is not with us anymore.
Oh, okay. That I didn't know. In fact, I was just at your library today.
Oh, were you? All right.
Yeah, the Dixon Library, well, it's called the Embudo Valley Library, but it's in the middle of Dixon. See, Dixon is not a township. It has no governing body at all. It's like a place in the road that's kind of grown. But they do have parking.
Okay, so I think I'm going to stop recording now so that we can talk about more things among us. Is that okay? Okay.